Alright, it's me, Buckgirl. Just want to draw your attention to this debut album by Venturing called Ghostholding. I'm like the Steve Buscemi meme, aren't I? Hey, fellow kids! That's right, folks. 2 shoegazy albums in one fun-packed weekend. What have we got on the menu today, Warner Child? We've got 13 tracks at a hefty 51 minutes for you. I don't know much about Venturing. I see it's the side project from Jane Remover, who last album I did check out, so I've still got my finger on the pulse. They sure seem happy to switch up their sound for every project, which should be exciting for fans, but some will find it hard if you have a love for a particular album's genre, and I get that, but it's exciting for an artist to switch it up and do it as well as they have here. I think this is their best work yet. This sounds like if McGee and Hotline TNT had a baby. It's lo-fi. It sounds like a band practice, and depending on what type of listener you are, you might be into that. I myself, who was in bands, I'm into it. It reminds me of all my demo tape days in the 90s. So rather than yesterday's Cryogeyser album that had probably more of a polished studio sound, I don't have an issue with this at all. It's got charm and pure imagination, and it's growing on me fast with every listen. Now for the tracks. Up first, we've got Play My Guitar. Definitely the perfect song to introduce you to this album. I don't want to spoil it too much because I want you to check this thing out. Just pretend you're at an amusement park and there's a new indoor ride and there's some kids out the front excited trying to convince you to go in, and all of a sudden someone grabs you by the hand and there you are, you're in the ride and walking around this universe. And I love it the more I listen to it. No Sleep is track number 2. And some disjointed drum work here, and shakes you into the ride as you try and find your footing in this dark room. The drums might not be easy listening for some, but I get that it gives the song a unique vibe and adds to the openness of when it spreads out. Up next is track 3, Believe. Now this is the track where you really start to settle into the album experience on this crazy ride. It's a lush Police 1975 ML Butch McGee sounding track. You know that new sound you're looking for? It's an absolutely stunning track. Lyrics made me think of the Ethel Cain album. Track 4's Guest House. The chorus on this is lovely and catchy with sweet harmonies. Guitars sound like there's whales passing by and you feel like you're falling in space. You're in for the ride now. There's no drums, just vibes. I love it. Up next is track 5, Spider. A dark sort of panic cleanser, even featuring some bleep bloop electronics. It's like a distorted unplugged session that gets angrier with each verse and turns into a wall of screams by the end. But hey, forget those dark moods. Us over here at track 6, Recoil, we're in a nice, bright, colourful room. It's sort of summery Weezercore, screaming geeks in the garage. Made me think of Waves, if you remember them. Well, that sure was fun, wasn't it? But something has to change, as track 7 would say. We're back to the McGee vibes here, and there's different parts to this ghost-holding world, as you'll see. And 1 minute you're falling in bliss, and the next you're rushing and screaming. I like the push and pull. I'm holding on for dear life at this point. It's as if the ride is making all the people at the back scream and All the people at the front are just jaw-dropped as they're blasted by white light. The chorus vocals on this are great. And here we have it, track 8, Dead Forever. This is the one, this is the moment, the chorus of the year so far. It'll have crowds everywhere, pogoing up and down at shows and festivals. It's a very catchy, bouncy song. Best song on the album, it's a smash hit. If you liked the Wishy album last year, you'll like this. We're all singing along. He's loaded at the bar and herds the boys like sheep. If there's one thing I know for sure, you'll be listening to Dead Forever, forever. Whew, what a song. I'll take another 10 albums of that, please. Track 9 is next, We Don't Exist. I honestly didn't think we'd get a McGee-sounding album so soon, but I thought that after I heard the ML Butch album. I love these vibes, and whatever this new guitar sound is, I'm a sucker for delay, and the vocals are full of echoes, and some in the foreground, some in the distance. It's so hazy and lovely, just pure floating away to this. And then we have track 10, Sick/Relapse. It's called Sick, but it's another very pleasant highlight with some absolutely lovely vocals. It will be exciting to see this with a full band. I don't know why I keep picturing these shoegaze bands playing at old gold theatres with red curtains, but I do. I love the guitar at the end, made me think of Prince. Oh, and the bleeps are back. Bleep, bleep, boop, boop. So maybe the adventure is calculating its end. Another banger coming up, track 11, Famous Girl. We're back to the upbeat punk here. Makes you wonder if this was written the same week as Recoil. It's borderline two-step, but with an interesting almost clash of R&B vocals. It's a wild mix and a great track. I hope they do more strumming upbeat tracks, repeating the lyric, I just want to make music. By all means, keep making it. And then we have... Well, it's time to remind you that it's winter. Not that winter, the other one where it's Halloween. Track number 12. You could say Deftones vibes. I got a bit of Pumpkins from it, but Pumpkins inspired Deftones. I'm not here to give you a timeline of shoegaze-inspired bands. You've got the yellow button to do that for you, and it's just really nice stuff, and it's got some spooky, squealing guitar feedback, wild sounds, and it's going to be an easy gig for the drummer. They just have to keep doing stabs. Did you get it? Halloween? Ween? And last but not least, we've got Sister, track 13. And just like the first song on the album, this is the perfect closer. All the elements in this album are fully represented in this track. Well, that's it, folks. We've come to the end of the album, the end of the video, the end of the adventure. You let go of that hand that dragged you all through it, and you stood there still for the first time in an hour. You've got the vocals and the guitars whirling around your head, and you're remembering all the crazy wild places you went to in there. You turn around and you join the queue ready to go again. I really like this album, and I hope you do too. So go on, check it out. Go on. Shoegaze, blah, blah, blah. Shoegaze, blah, blah, blah.